Yes, welcome to another edition of Engage hapa hivi on Daybreak. Tumefurahi sana kukuona, although hatukuoni lakini unatuona. But the fact that umejiunga nasi, we are very happy and we appreciate. The hashtag to use kama kawaida is Daybreak. The SMS line is 22422. Before I even go that far, hata sijaambia mna tunaongea juu ya nini today. We're talking about single parents, but in a different aspect. So, say a lady has 3 kids, and ladies have a way of introducing that subject in a very sneaky way. You're out on a date, the first date, wanasema, yeah, like I was telling my 3 kids the other day. So, anyway, so when a lady, when you have a lady who comes with kids, should the kids stay with the father or the kids stay with you when you're getting married? So we're asking whose child is it anyway? Whose children are they anyway? To help us discuss that, we have Anita Ray. Habari yako? Uko sawa?
Kabisa nashukuru wewe.
Everything is good?
Oh, yeah, I'm fantastic.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy?
Okay, I don't know.
And we have Israel Robert Burale.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
It's been a while since hata upumei hewa yetu.
I think you blocked my number or something. But it's good to be here, my brother.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
By the way, he's called Israel. I'm not making it up. So his name is Israel.
Yes.
So ukisikia nikisema Israel usidhani naita kina Netanyahu. Mtu wako hapa hivi. So let's start by just initial thoughts, because being being a single parent, especially for the lady, if maybe they are going to talk about 2 scenarios. There's one scenario where the father is really present in the lives of the children, but now this single lady who has kids finds another suitable partner. Maybe just didn't work out between the both of them. And then one where the guy is a joker and left. So in that case, first of all, maybe you can tell us, Anita, like in that case, what do you think should happen?
First of all, I've been thinking about this and laughing. I think this is gonna laugh because I don't want to start it on the wrong note. Yeah, I'm trying to be nice today, but the reason we have a lot of single moms at this day and age is because we have a lot of jokers. Let me use that nice word, jokers.
Yeah, the word I use.
Tenda wema nenda zako. You're not here to stay, and that's the problem. It's a lot of irresponsibility. So we have a lot of women ending up raising kids alone. And that also becomes difficult for the nice men they meet a bit later, because when these men tend to meet these girls, already the men are going to have a whole bunch of kids who are not theirs, and they have to raise that. And imagine Willis coming into a relationship and you already know there's a father who might, there's always that possibility of might come back. So as a man, there's nothing as scary as meeting a woman with a kid. And let's be honest, let's be very fair, because you have to love her and the kid.
And the kid actually has to love you, because then that's how it works.
Yeah, and you have to pray the kid doesn't even know the dad well enough to say, where's the baba yangu? Where's the daddy? Can you imagine that man walking into that relationship, that marriage where you have 3 kids? Maybe, I don't want to use this example, but Akode, 5 kids, different dads. Now imagine a man marrying Akode today. Every child knows the father. Where does this man walk into? Where does he start? And you might tell him not to compete, but where does he start? So the first thing you have to understand is there's nothing as scary for a man as approaching a woman who already has kids, because it's quite a difficult situation. It's not a normal marriage. You're marrying a family already. You're walking into a nuclear family already. And the one thing that we have to actually discuss today, and I hope, let me call him Israel.
Yes.
Israel
the
today.
revolution has started.
Which I would love to hear his take about it, is because we have a very big number of single moms today.
Absolutely.
Because of this thing of men don't want to raise their kids. But then I always ask, who are these men going to marry still? Because if you go have like 5 baby mamas and you want to marry a lady who doesn't have a kid, where are these 5 baby mamas going to go? Who's going to marry them at the end of the day? And then we're going to go out there saying we have a society of women who are too independent, but we're making them. We're creating them. It's a sequence. You're creating them. And I always ask men, do you know how many kids you have out there? Some men will be like, I have to think about it. Let me. That's the problem. We have so many single parents below 25.
Sadly.
The father came, decided, I'm not ready to be a father. But you didn't think about it before. Now the woman is left to raise the child. She wants love, she's broken, and she wants a man to love the child. And a man is going to come, nakupenda lakini peleka mtoto kwa mamako. What is that child going to do? Anapelekwa kwa shushu. So you find a married woman, happily married woman, in town, but the child lives in Shanks.
And is happily married on face value.
Or first value. You
Yeah.
can't be happy with without your
no
child.
children, yeah.
So really, it's a big mess, which I don't know how to discuss it or how to start. When you said about it, I thought about it a lot, and I went through social media yesterday, and I was going through Twitter, and you find if you ask how many women have kids. Someone sent a meme in a group I was in last week, like, now we're taking single mothers with 2 kids at most. It was a joke, yes, but it was not funny. Because it means they are accepting not single moms, but 2 kids max. We keep it up, jipange.
Peke yako.
Iko peke yako. But these are the same men who are creating the single moms. Because you cannot be a single mom without a man.
Absolutely.
So where do we start with this?
Wow, it is true. And sadly, we have very many jokers, men who are joking, who want to enjoy the intimacy, but do not want to be a part of the responsibility. But having said that, we also have women who are jokers, who just said, you know, you gave me seed, but you are not my kind of man. I don't see myself with you 5 years from today, you understand? But if I may just dwell on the men who just take advantage of these women and disappear when responsibility comes knocking, these men want women who don't have kids. And as she says, they're going around depositing their seeds all over the place for another man to take the responsibility. And yes, I do know, especially the African culture, many men fear dating women who have kids, especially sons, because the son will take the generation of the father forward, and you feel like your legacy is not there. But for men, I would suggest that we need to raise men who will be secure enough to, if you love the woman, if you buy a computer, it comes with a scanner and a printer. So don't tell, men should not tell the women, I love you, but for the children, take them to your mother. And if a woman does that, so that she gets a man, then that man is not right for that woman, and that woman is absolutely irresponsible. If a man says, I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but on the part of the kids, please take them to your mother or take them back to the baby daddy, that man that doesn't really love you, to be honest with you. And I said yesterday that when people are in love, they may not see the red flags. The red looks purple. So you've got to just take a step back and say, how comes this man says he loves me, but he doesn't love my children? But it's insecure. We have very many insecure men who don't know how to raise other people's kids. But another thing is that they think, what if the father comes back? But the onus is on the mother to give this man security. That, listen, I am sorted, I am with you. In fact, I respect stepfathers. I respect men who step up to the plate and be a father figure. There are people who sire children. That is just an act that can even take a 1-minute man can have a child. But it takes a mature man, a man who has vision and focus to raise a child. So you may sire the child, and you are there, you give the biological deposit, but it's another man who may raise that boy to be a man. And he may not be called, you are my father, but you are my father figure. And we need to also respect these men who have taken responsibility, and they should not be intimidated, and we need to give them a pat on the back of taking responsibility, especially in the African culture. Muzungus can do that very easily. Africans, in fact, your families will tell you, of your own family, your uncles will call you for a meeting and tell you, how can you do this? You understand? So it takes a real man to take the responsibility of loving a woman and loving her children as well.
Talking about 2 things, and I know when I was introducing the show, I made it sort of in jest, but it's true, isn't it? Sometimes men, they don't find out until later on
that,
about the children.
About the children,
I know,
yes.
I know.
But
So,
if a woman keeps that, that's such a fundamental. You can hide your favorite color from your man, but you decide to tell him later, much, much later. First and foremost, by the way, that first date, you also have to know how to release information. You may not, sometimes if you release, you have 3 children on the first date, you will not have a second date.
but isn't it better to get the jokers out of the way?
Yeah, no, it's true, but sometimes not even a serious person can decide not to go that route.
Okay.
By the way, it goes both ways. But such fundamentals, you must tell the man, so that even if he's going to marry you, he marries you with full disclosure. You understand? But if a woman who keeps such information for a long time, even that woman does not deserve a man.
They do. Now I'm sure about this, because let me. I want you to walk through a scenario with me.
Okay.
A woman is married, maybe in a marriage that fails. She has maybe 2 kids or 1 kid. No, she's broken. She's so scared of entering a relationship. She wants to protect first her kids before anyone else.
Yes, absolutely.
You're a mother, you're selfless. That's how it's supposed to be. It's not how it always is, it's how it's supposed to be. So when you meet someone, you always in one foot, in one out. You know, you don't know if he's sure, he's staying, he's not. You're literally experimenting. Then it starts becoming serious. You don't want to tell him you have a kid for 1, 2 reasons. Maybe you're not ready to share this kid with anyone. Because you see, if you're a single mom, your kid, you're the mother, the father, the everything you get. Not every single mom is willing to share their kid. Let's start there. And most single moms would understand me. You're not willing to share your kid with anyone. Because you have umezoea, you're the one doing everything. So this introducing someone, and you always have this fear, what if I introduce him, then he goes. So it's not that you're hiding, you're just playing safe. You'll be like, acha kwanza nimpe mapime. Maybe 6 months down the line, you're like, he looks, So one day when you're going to make that joke, like, even my son was saying, I'm going to be like,
I do understand, but 6 months is too long.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's not too long.
6 months, my
6 months is you want to know. Listen, it's not too long for a single mom. I swear, I know single moms who are watching me have said even a year. And you haven't, me, I know someone, they trended the other day. They kept their data hidden for 4 years from the person they were dating. 4 years.
Did they marry?
Yeah, they married.
First and foremost.
Wait, they married and then now
I think a month before the wedding, that's when he was like, I have a daughter.
A month before the wedding.
I would personally, if someone does that to me, 4 years of dating, a month to the wedding, you tell me you have a kid, I would cancel the wedding.
Why?
I'll tell you why. That is such a fundamental. And what that does, it plants the seed of doubt. Now,
Like what other thing in these 4
what
years?
else
Yeah.
don't I know?
But the kid is sacred. The kids are sacred. You don't just want to bring them. People have dated for 10 years and bailed. I want to be sure this is happening. I think we should even pop them just before the wedding, like,
Before you say it. Does anyone have any just cause?
Yeah, by the way.
Yo.
Brandon,
No,
you and your sisters come.
if you're willing to share the bed with a man for the rest of your life and you feel the man is serious, I think it's only fair that he knows you have a child. And the other side is true, the reverse is true. Even for men who have children, it's only fair that you tell the woman who wants to give her life to be with you that you do have a child or 2 out there. It's so important. So by the time somebody is making a decision, they're making a decision with full knowledge. But if I date you for 4 years, Anita, and then you tell me, in fact, not 4 years, I date you for 7 months, and then you tell me on the 8th month, by the way, I have a child. It's like, by the way, I have another Safaricom line. You can't. I would now say the fundamentals have been broken. Do you know, by the way, if you date for 1 year and then you tell your man or your woman, oh, for this 1 year, I have another secret line, but let me give it to you. That alone can cause doubt going forward. What of a child?
Let me ask, what about this scenario? If, because I understand what you're saying. I fully get what you're saying in terms of you're afraid, like you can introduce this person,
I told
so
you can't keep breaking your kids' hearts.
Yeah.
So you'd rather just keep them safe enough until you know this is staying.
So what would it be better than to say maybe, I don't know, a month or 2 after you've gauged the seriousness of this fellow, that, hey, niko na mtoto, but I'm not safe. I don't feel it is time for you to meet them yet.
I'm not gonna put a goosebump.
Okay, that's a better way to go.
I'm just thinking, it's really a difficult. I think I'm a woman, that's why I am trying to explain to you people. I feel like I want to give you an emotional injection so that you can get into the zone. You don't know how scary it is to break your own child's heart. And already as a single mom, you have broken their heart by the father not being there. And those kids will be at 3 years, they'll be like, Mona sinaga daddy, you're going through that already. So now you meet this man, and no offense, people can pretend. 3 months is not enough for you to decide you want to introduce someone to your kid. Maybe, just maybe you can tell them, I have a kid, and I don't think, but no, this is a problem. If you tell a man, I don't think, I want you to meet my kid, how do you think they'll take it?
No, a mature person who will be a leader should be able to understand. And I even tell ladies who have children, you can't introduce your child to every man you meet. Oh, this is Uncle Willis, this is Uncle Raburu, this is Uncle John, this is, it's dangerous. What you got to do is at first gauge the man. And it's okay. If a man is insisting and you feel you're not ready, then that's a man who will push you to the wall when you get married. Those, for me, that is also a red flag. Tell the man, listen, I have a child, but please give me time. The kid is young, there's psychological issues to deal with, but give me time and I'll gradually introduce you to the child, but not keeping the information completely away from the man. But what Willis is saying, yes, I have a son, yes, I have a daughter, but let's take it slow. At the right time, I believe maybe we'll accidentally bump into each other at a shopping mall, accidentally on purpose, and then you'll say hi, I see how they react, and then next time we'll be in church together and I'll say hi to you and let's go for tea and, you know, gradually introduce the kid. But the moment you keep the information away, let me tell you, the worst thing to do is to break the trust, because building it is almost an impossible task.
But you see, again, I'd like to try and get to I'm really trying, and I'm trying to get...
I feel you, Miss. I feel you.
Because, excuse me, you look at a situation where, okay, so this is your daughter or your son. Yeah. And like Anita said, she said something there that popped up for me, like already this child is like, a child when it was, let's say 3, 4,
yeah,
maybe 5, seeing their daddies picking up people from school. Sorry, freezers. Anyway, so already that is happening. So, and then you mentioned something again that then so when you're introducing, are you introducing them as Uncle Willis? Then
I'm a future daddy.
No,
Willis,
you don't. You never
or...
ever tell the kid, this is your dad. What happens when you get serious with the man?
Hold on, let me just cut you short. We have a caller. That is Jen from Kasarani. Jen, thank you so much for calling. Maybe you can weigh in on the subject and tupatie maoni yako.
Okay, maoni yangu ni, I'm a single parent.
Okay.
And from the day I got my daughter, the biological dad he was a joker.
Yes.
On my side, what I do when I'm dating, I just introduce my daughter. I tell the guy I have a daughter. She's 6 years old, but I don't let them meet.
So they don't meet. When would you feel it is safe, like a timeline do wakutane?
Okay, the timeline in it's when maybe I'm telling you about a problem that I have with my daughter, maybe school fees. When I see that you are serious about her.
And so, do you do this with, and I'm sorry to ask, it's a little bit of a personal question, but would you do this with many men or the man that unaona ako serious?
Man, any guy I've dated from the day I got my daughter, I just introduce and tell the man I have a daughter. This I don't lie about it, or it will be an issue. Why didn't you tell me? It will be an issue.
Okay, thank you very much, Jen. That is Jen. That is Jen from Kasarani. We also have some feedback from Twitter. Let's take a look at that. Oh, sorry. I had to make a face. All right, let's see. That is Humphrey O says the child or the kid belongs to all parents, but in most cases, it is their mother who takes most responsibilities. But at the end of the day, the person who takes care of the child takes a bigger percentage. All right. There we have the Ngosi. It's not fair to blame men on single mothers, not unless we're talking about rape. That is his take. Well, okay, I'll comment about that in a while. Then this is the last one in terms of the feedback for now. The_black_me. The child is lost. The child will one day reject both parents. Right. So again, the Ngosi says, and sorry I cut you short. Maybe you'll pick it up from there. The Ngosi says that it's not fair to blame men for single parents, but I guess I agree with Anita on this. That you don't get it by osmosis. There are two people. SMS unatuma to boom.
Hi, your page. No.
Yeah, it's true.
It's men who,
it takes
as you
two
say,
to tango.
And this is my biggest problem with our generation. And I always say our generation because I'm young. We do not want to be responsible. I am very young. I'm 60. We are young. Israel, I might have you look young. You mean your name is Israel? You might not be young. So, but the thing is, our generation doesn't want to be responsible.
Right.
It's a generation of YOLO. You only live once. So I have this to do. So you'll meet her mommy, she's hot, she's fine, looking good. You want her for a while. It's temporary. But my question is always, why make her mother then? And I also ask the women this, why are you willing to get a child with someone who's not settling with you? And this mentality of nikipata mtoto atasettle, yo, a kid is not a marriage way. A kid is not gonna make any man stay. A kid is not going to stay. I mean, a man is not going to make a kid stay. No, a kid is not going to make a man stay at all. And that's the problem, Willis. And that's where we get it wrong. Men say, oh, wanawake wanafaa kujipanga. Sawa. Tunaweza jipanga anyway. But why are you going having 3, 4, 5 baby mamas? What's the beauty in that? How do you feel as a man, 28, sitting down telling your boys, hey, my baby mamas, Jana, were fighting? Like, what's the pride in that? What have we turned into, you know? And we forget, these kids will grow up. Now, how will they grow up? You're raising a son, he's 10, 15 years right now, and then he knows the dad has never been there. Then this kid becomes something, and you know how men show up. Hey, oh, that's my son, I want a DNA test. How do you think that kid is? Diamond, let's give an example of the artist Diamond. His father bailed when he was a kid. The mother raised him in so much hardships. What is the father doing right now? Going to every media house. My son is not helping. And Diamond asked, should I help him? Do I owe him anything at all? Do I owe him even a shilling?
And look at what, yes, okay, jump in first.
Yeah, okay, first and foremost, yes. Men bailing out is not the only reason we have single mothers. Some women are also crazy. Do you know there are women who are single mothers, but the men don't even know those are their children? A woman got pregnant, she disappeared. You understand what I'm saying? And when it comes to Diamond, when it comes to parenthood, I know the father bailed out, but I'm going to say something that may be controversial. It's the onus is on the child to always honor the father, no matter what. The Bible is very clear. Honor your father and your mother, not because he's a pastor, he's a CEO. Just honor your father and your mother, and it shall be well with you, and I will give you long life. Just the fact that he's your father. I have seen great men disowning their fathers because they didn't look rich. They didn't look powerful. And it's never well with those people. It's just you as a child doing what is right. He bailed out. If my father never bailed out. If my father bailed out and he came back to me, or I meet him in the streets drunk and lying on the floor and he can't even stand, I would still cover that man's nakedness. But the now generation, I mean, Diamond himself, who is disowning his father, has been accused of disowning his own children. Has been accused by some baby mamas of not taking responsibility.
Baby mamas.
Yes, of not taking responsibility. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel for him, just to get a covering, to get a blessing. Yes, Dad, you disown me, but now I can. Let me help you.
But I'm going to argue with you heavily on that.
Please do.
Not everybody is that religious that we say we go by the Bible. I don't want to say our generation because the religion is different. But look at it from a better point of view. And let's be honest, we're human. We are very, very human. So I am just trying to imagine, Mama Kwame Teseka, she has done all manners of jobs, raised you to the man you're today. Your dad just shows up. Do you really owe him anything? Just go and kneel down and be blessed. If he's a good father, he's going to bless you without wanting anything.
Yeah, but I'll tell
Why
you,
does he want anything in
But
return?
I'll tell you something, as children, because however old we are people's children.
Yeah.
You never know the real story as to why they even broke up. Your mother who worked hard may be the reason. I'm not saying I know this case, but you don't know. Maybe he was even pushed away by this same mother.
Let me ask you something. Okay, if someone...
Okay, we need to take a break. I know the conversation will help you. However, let's pay some bills. Hold on to the question.
Oh, yes.
All right? Shikriya Uzi.
Then go hivi.
Then we come back. And remember, you can talk to us using the hashtag Daybreak. You can SMS us on 22422. We'll sample some of them. And you can also call in on 0719 We'll be back. Usicheze mbali sana. Tunarejea on this very heated debate. Yes, karibu sana. Ni mtu hapa ananiambia ati sijui Maina anaongea kwa show yake kwa radio na wanaongea juu ya Tanzania. But ni sawa. Yeah. So, tuko kila bali, tunashukuru Mungu. All right. Welcome back to Engage. We're talking about a very interesting and also sensitive topic at the same time. Before we left, Anita was about to ask Burale a question. I don't know if she still remembers it, but let's take some feedback first on on the top. Let's take some feedback real quick and see what people are saying. Yeah, right. So that is Jacob Abere said children belong to both. Until 18 years, they are able to make decisions on top. If either party is unable socially, financially, the court makes the decision. And then that is Danny Anas Kunjugush. Full disclosure is very important in the initial stages of a relationship. I personally have a child, but I never hide the fact from any lady that I have subsequently dated. Keeping it a secret for a long time will cause a breach of trust. And then N. Ntumbi says, blended families are sustained through wisdom. You don't adopt children and suddenly you are playing the headmaster or discipline master. And also marriage is about succession. Men marry for succession, not gratification. Children are a make or break as they carry the mantle.
That's a very wise man.
That was very wise and deep at the same time.
Yeah.
So you want to ask a question now?
I think we moved on from that, but my question was still coming back to the part of, if you want kids to all give gratitude to their fathers who don't want the gratitude and who are not there at all. But also, let's talk about the fathers who are there. How do you deal with the present dad? How do you deal with the present dad? He's there, he's in the kids' lives. How do you deal with him?
When you're dating?
Yes, when you're dating or getting married, the dad is there. How do you deal with him?
No, the thing is this.
Fixing my thing.
It's okay. If you're dating a lady who was a child, and the father of the child is a present father, give him his respect.
How?
Let him have time with his daughter or his son. Never interfere with that. Now, it's the onus is on the mother of the child to make sure that they put you at a place where you're at a very secure place, where you understand, listen, in fact, there'll be times where they need to go for Parents' Day with the baby daddy.
Huh?
Yes, you should never interfere with a father who is available for their child. You are dating the child's mother. It's the mother of the child who should give you security, like, listen, when I'm with this guy and his child, we're here as parents, but I'm with you as a person, you understand? But the moment you start interfering, let me tell you, that child will turn against you.
But my question is, let's be honest and very, very realistic. How would you feel when your wife, now assume you're dating to marriage, tells you, babe, tomorrow I can't hang out with you, or we can go to church together because there's a school event, I have to go with my baby daddy and the kid. Don't you feel like that's a family on its own? What's the balance? Because women are very emotional. If the father is always present, what gives you a guarantee? And I'm asking this as a woman, that there won't be an emotional connection there. Yes, they share a child. Let's even start there. And they're always, oh, let's hang out for the child. And that can be used. The child needs both parents. Let's hang out together. Let's do lunch together. Are you okay as a man, you woman, spending that much time with the baby daddy?
If you're a secure man, absolutely.
Huh?
If you're a secure man, absolutely. And there'll always be emotions. Two people who have been naked together in a bed, 20 years later, there's still a connection. You understand what I'm saying?
Anita was already.
But
I was not ready.
It's a matter of security, but also the baby mama, your woman, should also know the boundaries. Cannot say, oh, after the school sports day, I took my daughter home, then I went for coffee or a movie with baby daddy. No, not at all. There has to be boundaries that the lady must respect because you are also in her life. But the moment you show insecurity that the woman is spending time with the baby daddy and the child at a school's function, let me tell you, the worst thing is when the child of the woman you're dating rejects you. The chances are that relationship will go nowhere, you understand? And that's why even Mr. Nthumbi said a lot of wisdom is needed. Because also remember, you are a man, you also have a child. And the baby mama needs to go for a function with you.
That is a whole new scandal. Like you just opened Pandora's box.
Because you know what happens? What happens is the society now tends to bash men. That if there are many single women, it's because the men bailed off. Let me tell you, there are women who have even denied the men access to their children because maybe the man is broke. Maybe the man is not well put together. Maybe you're dating a more bourgeoisie man, so you don't want your kid to be seen with a ragged man. You understand? And I've seen cases where children have disowned their father because he looks like he has nothing. You understand? But let me tell you, the moment that man was a seed carrier, or that woman carried you in her womb, it doesn't matter. You can never interfere. The moment you are insecure about dating, about your wife or your husband spending time with a baby mama or baby daddy, then you're not supposed to be in that relationship. It will be like a full-time job.
You just said our women hide kids from their fathers.
Yes. There's so many men who have children, but they don't know.
What if there are people who, even if they knew, nothing would change? You get? What if you look at a man and you realize, maybe I want his kid, but he's not a man who's not going to settle. Two, maybe he's a junkie, he's a drunkard, he's someone you don't want to raise your kids.
Okay, but he was good enough to lay naked with you?
Maybe he became that later. You're still going to go back there. I knew you're going to go
because
back there.
if you say he's a useless man, he's a junkie, and is not fit to raise a parent, then you are not fit to make a good decision. Because this same junkie, this useless man, was good enough to get you naked.
Ouch. You have to go back to the naked part.
I tell you what, it's reality.
I know.
It's reality.
But I still want to know, and I would love to actually understand what the boundaries are for present dad. Because, we don't have present dads with this. Unapata. And for every child, and this is the reality that we should face, every child deserves both parents.
Absolutely.
No matter your differences, no matter where you come from, no matter how bad things were between both of you, that child didn't send you an application letter. That you please have me. No. Both of you decided, or one of you decided you want that child. Somehow the child is there. So let's not be selfish enough to put that child through the struggles, the fights, the court cases, the everything. We should be selfless as parents. But we're human, and it's normal to fight. So when is that boundary? First of all, you said about baby mamas. I'm a woman, I don't understand why baby mamas are drama at all. Now, as a woman, you're married to a man. He has 2, 3 baby mamas. Where do you draw the line? Monday, kina Kim wako na play day. Tuesday, Brianna. That man is gone.
See, the other thing is that, especially if you knew that akona 3 baby mamas, na bado ukaenda ukamuoa, sasa itabidi sasa you find a way to work it because you made the decision.
Signed up for it.
You signed up for it. It is one thing, I walk on a tattoo, I can't handle that. I love you, but
which man tells you he has baby mamas? They pop in the weirdest of ways. Sasa boziku mtoto ni mgonjwa, you're like, mtoto wa nani ni mgonjwa? Oh, you didn't know about.
Oh, sorry, I'm coughing. Hold on, Philip from Kiambu has called in. Philip, tell us what you think about the discussion. Na pia utupatie maoni yako. Tutashukuru sana.
Good morning, and how are you, all of you?
Fine, thank you.
This is a very important discussion we have here.
Yes.
And the discussion must be discussed by serious people.
Yes.
Anita is not a serious person. And the reason why I'm saying that is because she is on the defense to the women.
I'm sorry?
She is on the defense to the single mothers.
Yes.
She should remember that we also have single fathers who take care of their kids and they are nowhere to be discussed about. No, hakuna mtu anaongelea wao. Mama alikuwa akawacha watoto 3, akaenda kunywa pombe, akaenda na wanaume wako like that kind of life. But we are not even discussing about that. We are discussing about the single mothers and their kids and the way they hide them. First and foremost, all single mothers are their own victims. They make themselves victims of single mothers. Because you cannot have your kid and eat it. I mean, kuna wale wako na watoto kwa sababu ya dharau wenye waliwazaa. Kama my brothers told her point blank, if you cannot just dismiss these guys and call them the names and you allow them to have kids with you. The time you allowed them to have kids with you, that means they meant something to you. But now because maybe they are broke, they don't have money to give you the life you want, then they are not good fathers. and you still want to be, unataka kukaa hii maisha ya kunywa pombe, kwenda kufanya raha, and you know there is no man who will allow you that. Hakuna mwanaume atakubali ati wewe ni bibi yake na unaenda out. That is why you find both single mothers want their freedom. That they hang on that one. Ati mimi nilitupwa, yule mwanaume ni mtu mbaya. But the reason behind that ni kwa sababu nataka kuwa na A, B, C, and D, all those 5 other men who afford to give her this and that. And
okay, Philip, let me ask you a question as well, even as you continue to weigh in on the issue. So, what is your situation? Are you a single dad? Are you married or?
No, I'm married. I'm not in that category, but I have seen people. I have friends. I have people. I talk to people, and I can tell you the way they suffer, because when you talk to men,
yes,
it's not a choice to be on that position. But most single mothers are a problem.
Okay, all right, thank you. So that is Philip there who says Anita natetea women, but again, Philip, it'd be important to know that Anita is also a single mother, so Akona some experience.
And on the same, also, we have a
Burale
single dad. Today,
dad.
we're
Very proud.
Single Parents Association today.
Yeah.
We should start one.
Both, and also Manchester United fans.
Yes.
Oh, yes, we are.
Good mix. So again, so ukiona na, you know.
But let me answer Philip.
Yeah.
We can't. I think this show has reminded me one thing: not to stereotype people. Let's not say everybody is bad. We have single mothers who are broken, and yes, we have single mothers by choice. Of you saying, I don't want to put up with a man. I don't want to put up with rules. I don't want to, because you see, marriage is rules, whether you like it or not. It's you cannot. There are things you can't do when you're married. You can't be married with 3 kids na unadunda hadi asubuhi. That doesn't work for any man, does it?
No.
It doesn't. So there are women who look at it like, I don't want these conditions, so I want to live with my kids. And there are women who are even outrageous and be like, and I don't want you in my life. Don't help us. As he said, women want money. Who doesn't want money? That's why the reason we all work. We all want money at the end of the day, to be very honest. But everybody wants a good life, you know. And so, and I always say this, and people get angry. Which woman doesn't want a man with money? Burale, is there? Is there?
They want security.
Thank you. Hallelujah. Oh, you're preaching now. We want security. So at the end of the day, Philip, not every woman is single out of arrogance. Some are single because genuinely maybe their spouses have passed away.
True.
Some are single because they met jokers, and some are single by choice. We have single dads who do. I respect single dads more than anyone because I know how hard it is to raise kids. So you can imagine a man being a mother, having to tell your kids, nimepigwa shule, nimechunwa. How do men even do it? It's really hard even for a woman. So at the end of the day, let's not be biased on both sides. We have good people, we have bad people. We have people who are single by choice, by circumstances, and by wanting.
Yeah.
It's all a personal choice. But the one thing we have to sit back and look at, whose choice, yours or the child's? And that's what we forget. Who are we choosing for?
Yeah.
Are you choosing for yourself or for the child? You choose for a 3-year-old, you'll never see your father. He grows up, meets the father. He's bitter, angry, doesn't know what happened, as you said, and he will never want to know the father. And that will not change. Burale, you may tell us every day about blessings from our fathers. There are people who will never talk to their fathers because the mother put in so much hate.
Yes.
Women, I said we have a good mouth, a stroke a bad one. Baba yako, wewe unacheka kama baba yako, cheka tofauti. Siku hizi unafanya vitu kaza babako. That kid will grow up knowing my father is the worst kind of human being. So I never want to be him.
And I wish women could stop that because they do it for their present gain, but they've affected their children long term.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's still their father or it's still their mother. If you are separated, if it's your time with your son or your daughter, never say anything bad about your spouse. Because he may have hurt you or she may have hurt you as an individual, but it doesn't make him a useless parent.
And that's the thing, I've just been reminded even as I'm listening to us talk, that we've talked about everybody apart from the child.
Yes.
That's the thing.
You know, and that's, I guess it's also a mistake that people make, that they think it's more about them and they forget that, you know, this child is going to grow up with certain inclinations, certain views and views of life as well. So I guess even as we wrap up and take the last batch of feedback from Twitter, because I see a lot of them coming through, maybe what would a single parent, and this is both male and female, what should they do to ensure that the child, which is the most important party, I feel, in this whole situation, you know, goes on and, you know, has, as they say, as my mom used to tell me, you have a good head above your shoulders.
What do kids want? Isaac, what do kids want?
We should be careful not to give them what they want.
I'm not talking about candy and things
no,
like this.
at that
okay,
age.
what do they need?
In an ideal situation, a kid would want the perfect family.
Amen.
Most kids at a very young age and their parents are separated would, if you ask them, 9 out of 10 will tell you, I wish my dad and my mom would be together. But to be honest, sometimes it's beyond reconciliation. So what we need to do is give them what they need, not what they want, and that's a stable home. What is a stable home? Yet it's you're both separated. Is to make sure that the father makes sure that the kid understands that your mother is a good woman and must be respected as your mother, even if as individuals you don't get along very well. And the mother should also make the kid, because the father, you know, there's some things, even if it's a son or a daughter, only the father can give, or father figure can give, and there's some things only the mother can give. So I even frown upon men who say, you know what, as long as I have my kid, I'm sorted. I see also women who say, that was just a sperm donor, I'll be the father. No woman should ever say, and it's the biggest lie, and it's from the Western world, that you can be the father and the mother. That is the biggest lie from the pit of hell, because there are things you cannot do. Yeah, I'm telling you. it's something. We have picked some crazy things from the Western world that women, and to some point, there's some crazy thing that women empowerment has been misconstrued to say that we are independent women, we can be both mother and father. There are some things that can only be inculcated to a child by a father or a father figure. So what the kid needs is stability, and once in a while it is okay to go out, the three of you, even to have dinner, and the kids pick how the two are interacting, the level of respect, the level of love as parents to that child. Because what happens if you fight using the child, because there are women who use the kid as an AK-47, you will not see your child unless you buy me Brazilian weave. And then there are men who say, if you don't allow, there are men who say, if you don't allow me to see the kid, I will not send any upkeep money.
They are trading kids for Brazilian weave.
That's what I mean. I'm using as an example. When you use the child for our own selfish ends. Now, we may have a temporary victory as the individuals, but in your old age, you'll be dealing with bitter children.
I know.
You'll be dealing with girls who want to go sleep around with every other man because the father rejected.
Daddy issues.
You'll be dealing with a woman who disrespects men in future because she saw the mother disrespecting the father. There's something I hear many people say, and these are very stable people. They say, I never ever saw my father hitting my mother. I never saw my mother talking back at my dad. When you hear those people saying such things, when you look at their present life, they're very stable.
I asked you that because you said it's about the kid. So what does the child need? We need to stop being selfish. I didn't know people are trading kids for Brazilian weave. That's cheap. Don't buy them. But I know he's using it as an example.
Yes, yes.
We have to understand this kid will grow up. And that's what we forget all the time. Whatever the kid sees, you can remember memories from as young as 3 years old.
Yeah.
They keep it in mind. This kid needs you, not you as a person, you as a parent. So you need to get out of you as a person. Your hatred for your partner, your animosity, get out of it. Fight when you're on your own, but when the kid is there, when it comes to the kid, be selfless.
Yeah.
Make the kid understand that we might not be together in one house, but we are literally one. And we have you, and that kid will even if say, Mom na dadia wakagi pamoja lakini wanapendana. And you see, people might never understand, because when you're there for that kid, they feel akona backup side zote mbili. Mom and dad don't fight. Mom and dad come to school. Mom and dad do things for me together. Be selfless. Women, I keep saying, and I'm gonna today back him up, kabisa. Mtoi si money bag. It's not a draining machine for a man. You know, you need to find a job. Your kid is not a job. You need to find a job. A man is not a job either. You know, tumia pesa. No. One thing women forget, mtoi si wa mwanaume peke yake. I want allowance, I want you to raise the kid. That's your kid. We meet halfway.
Absolutely.
Be there, finances, everything, emotions, halfway. This is our kid. This is half me, half you. Let's stop being selfish. And women, I'm not trying to say we should not be sympathized with. It's not a sad story. We both had the kid, you know. So at the end of the day, both meet halfway. Be selfless. We are mothers and parents. That's what a parent should do, you know. Yeah.
All right, we have some more feedback here kidogo. Kuna Steve Nyaba here says, being secure in the knowledge of who you are as a man or a woman with a spouse, with a child, is key to making the relationship work. Relationships are as much about the disposition of your mind more than they are about the state of your heart.
Absolutely.
which is actually very true. And then we also have some feedback online here. Dennis Mbumbi says fatherhood is a process, not an event that must be supported by the mom and the society. Women are prepped. Well, he goes a little bit further. He's more advanced. The 10 minutes of pleasure. Don't prepare the man at all. Then say a child or children are blessings. This is Calvin Kojoang, and says Jadot. A child or children are blessings from God. I would welcome them, but the only thing I do, I make sure that he says he'll change all their birth details. That's according to him. And then Torch says he can marry. He doesn't mind a woman with kids. Orwa Olav says, I love Burale. He seems to think that unatumia religion sana. But anyway,
I support him.
He says that some people do unthinkable things and then they say, oh, God is changing my ways. Well, anyway, like I said, religion is never a crutch. Yes. So yeah. So Ken Major says it depends. In most cases, single moms make good wives, and I'll marry one. That's according to him. Now, let me tell you what. All these guys have different views of what it is that they're saying. But like we always say, at the end of the day, if you are in a situation where you feel you don't have quite all the answers, or you need something extra, you need wisdom, somebody who can have sort of like a, what we call in this day and age, a drone view of your life and tell you, okay, move this here, I see all these variables and this is what you should do. Please seek help, whether it is your bishop, your pastor, you're a counselor, psychiatrist. Don't be afraid to seek help at the end of the day. And no matter what situation you are in right now, you might be watching us, maybe you're a single mom, maybe you're the third baby mama, maybe you're a single dad. It doesn't matter. Like we always say here, God loves you and that will never change. So seek help, and successful people look like you. And the great Manchester United, tutapambana kesho.
Kabisa.
Itakuwa noma tena sana. Hata kama wengine watatucheka, sisi we will have the last laugh. Tunashukuru sana. Thank you so much, Anita. It is at Anita Ray